welcome to Stingray Tom's Florida and day 19 of the Florida Adventure Series. Let's see what the object for today is. It's surprising just how large some of the items in the adventure calendar are. This is a Cypress knee that was originally from the Cypress Knee Museum, once located in Palmdale. Now, as a friend said to me many years ago, I didn't even know the trees had knees. Well, at least one type of tree has them, and while they're called knees, the knee is not as we know it. Anyone who has spent time around Florida's lakes and rivers has likely noticed strange objects that emerge out of the ground or water and are typically covered in bark. These knees grow out of the roots of the two cypress tree species native to Florida, pond cypress and bald cypress. Since they're such an unusual feature, there's been some 200 years of scientific speculation as to their function. There are currently 5 main hypotheses. Aeration. Knees might be a form of pneumatophore, or breathing root, because roots need a source of air to carry out cellular respiration. However, it's difficult to reconcile this since knees are generally missing in trees growing in deeper water, while they're regularly found on trees growing in wet soil or in shallow water. Plus, a study that measured the amount of oxygen consumed in knees showed that the rate of oxygen consumption was actually lower than for other plants. Mechanical support. Larger cypress trees flare out at their base, which provides better stability in wet soil, and it's thought that the knees are another aspect of buttressing, strengthening the roots to better anchor the tall trees during hurricanes. Once again, the absence of knees on trees growing in deeper water casts doubt on this, since they are likely to also need support. Methane emission. One study showed that knees may assist in methane emissions. Commonly known as swamp gas, wetlands produce a large amount, and while methane is not toxic to plants, it's thought that they could have evolved to assist in its release. Tests have shown, however, that knees account for less than 1% of the methane emissions in swamps. Nutrient acquisition. It's thought that knees might act as drift catchers that collect nutrients from the water, but there's no direct evidence of this. Carbohydrate storage. It's been reported that knees contain organelles that hold starch for the tree, though even if that's accurate, it's unknown as to why they need extra storage when growing under wet conditions, but not dry. So today, the function of knees remains unclear, which suggests 2 other hypotheses. That knees evolved in response to past environmental needs that no longer exist, or they never served any purpose whatsoever. Getting back to the object at hand, the Cypress Knee Museum was owned by Tom Gaskins, an entrepreneur and inventor. Opened between 1951 and 2000, it was a small attraction in rural Glades County that promoted Florida nature and presented harvested cypress knees as interesting artistic objects. I plan to do a video on Tom Gaskins and his museum in 2024. The cypress knees on display and for sale were collected as local swamps were being drained for farmland and the cypress trees were harvested for their wood. The knees were basically waste products, but Gaskins felt that after removing the bark and oiling them, they would be beautiful items. And of course they are. I have about 20 of them in the archive. Some bought at the museum and others collected elsewhere. All are unique and all have Tom Gaskins' name on the bottom. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for tomorrow's episode of Florida's Adventure Series 2023.